I honestly can't believe I'm saying this, but thank God Texas is next.
High, push him, checker flag, hell yeah!
What's the caution for? Mate?
Can they not push it in?
Stop anybody.
Oh, he's going! Way to go, boys! One hell of a job, man, one hell of a job. Thank you so much.
Well, I guess technically that was a Martinsville race, but, oh, God, we're going to break it on down. Welcome on into Shifting Gears. I'm Alan Bailey. By the way, did you know that it's Hendrick Motorsports' 40th anniversary? I mean, sincerely, this is awesome. I'm not going to go ahead and take anything away from Rick Hendrick and Linda Hendrick because this is awesome. It's really cool. In case you missed it, the big story, William Byron led a 1-2-3 Hendrick Motorsports finish. And before we get on into it, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you come back for the next video. And of course, log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. I mean, like, it's a cool story, and I know it's really annoying to see this after hearing it all weekend, but it's really cool that on Hendrick Motorsports' 40th anniversary, they pick up a 1-2-3 victory with William Byron leading them. You had the 48 of Alex Bowman technically in the top 10, but he might as well have not even raced today. But, I mean, honestly, cool. I'm very happy for Rick and Linda Hendrick because, honestly, it's cool. It's really cool that they got this. I wish that they were there. In case you missed this, Rick Hendrick had a knee surgery. Unfortunately, something went wrong with his knee. He had to have surgery earlier this week and couldn't be at the track this weekend, but there was over 1,500 Hendrick Motorsports employees there today, and it's really cool that they got this. That organization has been through a lot, honestly. Yes, they are the most successful organization in NASCAR history. However, they've had a lot of tragedy in their past. In case you don't know, 20 years ago, back in fall of 2024, a Hendrick Motorsports plane went down, and unfortunately, 10 people lost their lives, including Rick's brother, his 2 nieces, and his only son. How do you come back from that? I don't know. That is an insane amount of tragedy, and for that reason alone, I feel like Martinsville owes them one. And it sucked. Like, I remember that day. I remember that time. I remember them winning Atlanta the next week. And for that reason alone, I'm really glad that they got a victory out there at Martinsville today. I really am. I would have liked to see the hats be put on backwards for Ricky. I'm just saying, guys, but still pretty cool. It's a good-looking car. William Byron getting his 3rd victory of the season proves that he is the guy that you're going to have to beat in 2024 if him and Rudy Fugle can carry this momentum not only into the postseason, but through the postseason, 9 weeks, and then take that out to Phoenix and make something happen at Phoenix. That's asking a lot. But at the moment, they are peaking, frankly, too early. Is that concerning? Yes. If I am a William Byron fan, I'm concerned. I'm concerned whether or not this momentum carries all the way to the postseason. Just carrying it to the postseason this fall is going to be a tall task. Asking it to go from the full season into the postseason and then throughout the entire postseason and then into that final race at Phoenix is asking for the world. And if anybody can pull it off right now, it's probably William Byron and Hendrick Motorsports. But at the same time, it's a tall order. But of course, it can't just be a boring short track race day. Of course, there has to be some controversy thanks to our buddies over at Fox who can't figure out how to go ahead and run a damn race. We had a green-white checker finish. To be expected, NASCAR really wanted it, and there was a legit reason to have it, so let's not stir up that controversy. But I can't even say it because I'm sick of saying this. Once again, for the millionth time, Fox misses a massive crash, and they screw up the broadcast in the final laps. I'm going insane. This is the definition of insanity because we have been screaming at Fox to get their crap together and put on a decent broadcast that literally checks the bare minimums of putting on a broadcast, and they can't do it. What the hell? They're making enough money. They can hire quality people. I know they can. They just laid off some quality people from what I understand. So they know how to put on a good broadcast. whomever is the race director at Fox is an idiot and needs to be fired or at least demoted. And I know this is like the third episode in a row I've called for somebody within NASCAR to be fired or demoted, but I'm going insane, and I'm not even joking right now. This is not a bit. This is genuine frustration and rage, because as somebody who's worked in the sports broadcasting field for 15 plus years, who spent 10 years with the Los Angeles Angels, I can tell you, I know how to put on a decent broadcast. Not even a good broadcast, I can do that. I will at least put on a decent broadcast. These morons can't even put on a decent broadcast. I'm just dumbfounded at the stupidity in that booth, honestly. And nothing against the three gentlemen who were calling the race. This isn't on them. This is on the race director, who is in a truck somewhere, hiding away, doesn't say his name on the air anymore because he knows he's an idiot. Honestly, we still haven't really seen a good look at what caused that final caution that ended the race under caution, technically. Still haven't seen it. We've seen a handful of images and a handful of onboards. Apparently, Justin Haley was involved. Brad Keselowski was involved, and I believe that was the two of Austin Cindric who was also involved. But I can't tell because Fox and NASCAR can't get their shit together. What the hell? Honestly, at this point, it's just infuriating. The other big headline-grabbing story, the fact that, once again, this short track package with the next-gen car was awful. Not bad, it was awful. Like, there's no, it was okay. No, passing was impossible. We saw long green flag runs with very little happening on track. It's bad. It's bad. And now the exact same conversations we were having last week about Richmond losing a second date can be applied to Martinsville losing a second date, which I never in my lifetime thought I would be saying after watching the truck, which was, the truck race on Friday was okay. The Saturday Xfinity race was extremely good. And then going to this Cup race, it was a huge downgrade. I will say this, though. It was a great 2.5-hour nap that I took during this race. And I'll tell you, I went back and watched the race before recording this. I missed nothing. Honestly, missed nothing. That's disappointing. That's frustrating. We're in the point of no return for NASCAR. Short track racing has been awful for the last few years, and they need to make radical changes. And to be clear, tire fall off would help. But to Goodyear's credit, they are too good at making a good product. That's a great problem, except when it comes to on-track racing products. Basically, the tire doesn't wear out. The tire holds up too well. We need a tire from Goodyear that will fall apart and have decent wear. And we don't have that right now. The only reason Bristol was a banger that it was is because the track was too cold, or maybe the tire compound had something thrown in it. They still don't 100% know what happened at Bristol, and they have no idea how to replicate it, but they're trying from what I understand. So to that degree, let's get a tire that has an insane amount of wear on it. I'm not talking Indy 08. I'm saying somewhere between Bristol and Indy 08. Let's find a cross-section in there somewhere and put on a good show. That's what we're looking at this point, but there's no question about it. Bristol doesn't have the quote-unquote short track package on it. Instead, they run an intermediate type package, I believe, or very similar to it. It's its own thing. Let's take that package and apply it to the short tracks, because the current short track package is garbage and has been garbage. And at this point, NASCAR has nothing to lose. You might as well slap it on and go ahead and hold a race and see what happens, because it's just bad at this point. And I'm honestly at the point where I'm starting to forget what a good short track race in NASCAR Cup Series competition looks like. It's been a minute. Name the last good short track race. I'm honestly struggling to think of it. And that is really, really, really bad. The newer Netflix fans that are coming in still have no idea what a good short track race looks like. They probably look at short track races and go, oh, this is garbage, which I would argue is literally hurting short track racing across the country right now. Because if I'm watching NASCAR, supposedly the best form of racing in the United States, the most competitive form of stock car racing in the United States, put on a garbage product at a short track, how the hell is the average perception of NASCAR fans, of racing fans, going to think of short tracks? it makes me go, maybe I don't want to spend $20 and head out to the short track with my family this weekend. And that's really bad. I seriously need to move on before I give myself a brain aneurysm. Let me know what you think in the comments down below for the hot takes. We're going to get into that. I do have a couple more things here. Want to mention big congratulations, I suppose, to Chris and Marissa Briscoe. They already have a child. They were blessed with the birth of their first child a few years ago, and they just announced this weekend they're expecting twins. Congratulations, but twins are a lot. Chase, buddy, good luck. All the best. Hope that everything works out for you guys. I really do, but dang, that's going to be a lot of work, and Chase is not going to be having that much sleep. Just saying, Chase, I'm sorry, bud. And we will talk a lot more about this on Wednesday's Pit Pass, where we talk about the NASCAR Xfinity Series exclusively. But Eric Almirola, I even messed his name up. It's been that long. Eric Almirola getting the victory in the number 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. Very cool. I think it's really cool. I've given the guy a lot of crap for being a bad driver on here, and I still don't think he's a Cup Series driver, but I do think he could be a very compelling Xfinity driver full-time. I hope to see him do that, but this is really cool. He hasn't had a victory in a hot minute like this, and he really needed one. So sincerely, congratulations to Eric Almirola, to his family, to everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing. This is a massive win. He won the Dash for Cash, so very cool little bonus right there for him, and it's pretty damn cool. Congrats, Eric, sincerely. Christian Eckes might be the new short track ace in the NASCAR Truck Series. He picked up the victory out of Martinsville and, led the most laps, got the stage victories. It was a big, big, big weekend for him, so congrats to him on that one. It's the Truck Series. Trucks running into each other left and right, to be expected. But what are you going to do? But with that in mind, let's go ahead and get to some hot takes. Oh, yeah, yours. Go ahead and leave a comment down below for a shot for them to end up here on the program. We will go ahead and start with this one. More tire wear. We need more tire wear. Preach, preach, preach. I was at the race, and you should have seen some of the dudes freaking out over that, and the fact that they didn't call him out on that. Referring to the Denny Hamlin restart, when you have fans in the stands who are, at least I hope, a little intoxicated, witnessing something on the racetrack and noticing a rule being broken before NASCAR, who has access to literally hundreds of video cameras and replay systems, you know it's really bad. Just saying, NASCAR. Just saying. I'm Team Denny all the way. As somebody that grew up going to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it looks like I'm walking into a time capsule from 2007 every time I've gone since its last major renovation. NASCAR needs to buy Las Vegas Motor Speedway and rename it to the Las Vegas International Speedway, so that it could be the new home of the championship finale. Since it has to be at a NASCAR-owned track, why not buy it from SMI to give it the TLC it deserves? You're not wrong. You are correct on the fact that a championship finale NASCAR season needs to end at a NASCAR-owned track. That's just the policy that they're going to stick with. However, and this is shocking, I do agree that place has not really seen any real changes since 07 when it was renovated. I want to say it was like 08, 09-ish, somewhere around there, but maybe it was 07. My memory's fuzzy. But you're right. It hasn't really seen a whole lot of change. But the more disturbing thing, it's one of the nicer tracks as far as facilities on the NASCAR market. The fact that local fans are saying that Las Vegas Motor Speedway needs to be updated when it's one of the newest tracks on the circuit should be alarming to the state of NASCAR tracks. I'm at a point where I do not want to go to a bad facility. If I'm going to a baseball game, basketball game, soccer, NASCAR, football, whatever, I want to go to a multi-million-dollar facility, or in these day and ages, billion-dollar facility. I don't want to go to a place that hasn't seen a fresh coat of paint in 7 or 8 years, where things are falling apart and the cleanliness of the facility and the facilities are in question, let's just say. And that's what I feel every time I go to pretty much every other NASCAR track. The two tracks that are updated that I've been to lately, Las Vegas Motor Speedway and Phoenix Raceway, are two of the newerly updated tracks. Phoenix is immaculate. Go to Phoenix. The facilities are wonderful, but that one was updated just a few years ago. Las Vegas, like you said, is almost 15 years now, which is pretty damn alarming to me, but that track itself is pretty okay compared to some of these other tracks that haven't seen upgrades in 20, 30 years, some of them. It's pretty damning. So let me know in the comments down below, which racetracks are the worst as far as at-track facilities, restrooms, gift shops, hot dog stands, you name it, seats, everything. Let me know in the comments down below which are the worst, which are the best in your opinion. And while you're there, make sure that you mash that subscribe button so that you come back for the next video. And of course, log on to arnrace.com for the latest motorsports news. ARN, the Motorsports Authority. Texas triple header coming up this weekend. We will go ahead and break it on down. Coming up this Friday morning, actually, on Shifting Gears when it returns. And don't forget the Pit Pass coming out on Wednesday as well. So, for Shifting Gears, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.